Hello. I was just looking for my book there. The cat has popped in, so she may or may not jump up on the table. She sometimes does. Anyway, on to our card of the week, which I did say I would look at using another oracle card. And it's a really fascinating one. I'm very excited about it. So we're going to use the wisdom of Avalon. I have a real affinity with King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, the Knights Templar, all of that. I've got lots of books, read lots of books about them, and just really fascinated with that whole mythical aspect of the UK and its Celtic roots and magical roots. And it's really, really interesting, the card I've chosen, which is in the reverse position. So I'll show you it in the reverse position. So here we've got the bard. So the minstrel, and here he is. Music, joy, and storytelling. Really interesting card. So I'll change it up so that we have the upright position. There he goes. So there you can see him. He's on a rock, and he's got a sack with implements in that, bits of wood, but there are also people in there as well. There's the king and a knight in there. He's got the tree. He's looking really happy and joyous, and he's got his lute. So he's playing. He is a minstrel. He is the bard. But what is the bard? The Scottish bard would be Robert Burns. The English bard would be William Shakespeare. So a bard is a storyteller who puts everything to music in this musical form, but he's really relaying a really, really important message. He is asking us to look at our story. And although his sack is filled with parchments and stories, so he's recording everything that we're saying. So he's the historian of that time, and he's relaying what is happening through his song, his joy, and his enchantment. But he's written all the stories down in there, and we've got, as I say, the king, we've got a knight in his sack. He's not a fool. He is a very wise person, and he is a record keeper, a historian, a record keeper. But how does that relate to you? How does this card relate to us? Sometimes, somewhere in our family tree, so if we were to think of this as our family tree, there will be parts of our history that will surface and resurface for us to heal, to look at. That could be a generational thing, it could be ancient history, so it might be past life processes. But our journey is not disconnected, it is constantly connected. And in the sack with the parchments are our stories, our past lives, our family history. And so do we need to really reflect on where we've come from to know where we're going? One of the teachers that I'm really fascinated with is Albert Vidalobo, and he teaches Amazon teachings, shamanic teachings. And he has a really fascinating book, which is We Have to Heal the Past to Create Our Future. Is that where you are right now? Is there something fundamental in your life that you need to take stock of and go and do some forgiveness work on? Do you need to actually delve into the family history to figure out some memories, some trauma that is coming to the fore right now? Remember, it's the year of the rabbit, so things are coming up to be looked at. If we do take time to mend the past, then we are creating a far more positive future. That's the Buddhist way. We have to recognize the past and compensate for those behaviours and change them to create a better future. So who is the storyteller? Are you the storyteller? Do you have someone in your family that you can go and ask about your family history? that can then reveal some of the cultural aspects of your life. Will it reveal some of the impacts of your life? Will it reveal some of your personality traits? Those repeat patterns that go round and round and round. Why does this always happen in our family? How can we change this process? That is what this card is about. It is truly fascinating. It might look quite simple on the surface, but actually, as we dig deeper and deeper into the card, the message is all there. I think it's really interesting that he's sitting on a giant rock, because sometimes family, genetics, history, disposition, it can feel like we're dragging this heavy weight around us, whether it's guilt, jealousy, resentment, pain, anger. All of those emotions can be trapped or could be part of this rock that he's sitting on. And so is that something that we need to heal in ourselves so that we can put ourselves in a place of well-being and releasing the past so that our present day and our future can be less burdened and less cumbersome. And there's some of those emotions that we just don't need to be carrying around, that we can truly let go. I want you to really think about those memories even that are popping up, that are surfacing, and how do you place those memories? Again, in an inner child aspect, we see things, but we don't necessarily understand it as a young child. But as we become older and the memories formulate and change, and we then start to question the sources of those memories, we gain a completely different perspective, a more adult perspective that then makes sense to us, and it puts part of our family history to bed. A really, really interesting card, and lots to think about in this particular one. Lots to think about. What is your story? Is it the right story? Do you need to change your story? Do you need to heal your story? And do you need to let go of some of these stories in this bag? Do you really need to be held captive, as in this big rock that he's sitting on? Do you need to be held hostage by the past? Is it time just to let the past go so that the sack can become empty and you can put wonderful new stories in there about who you are? It's a fascinating, fascinating card. I'm so pleased I chose this one for you guys today. I think it fits really well with what we're journeying through for June. June is obviously a deeply healing month, and we're being asked to just change how we think. That's what June seems to be all about, changing perceptions, changing our mind, changing our words. It's all part of our story. All part of our story. Fantastic card. I feel really excited with this one because I'm going to sit and do my own homework and look at my own story and am I being truthful to myself? So wonderful, wonderful card. It would be great to hear your feedback on this one. I think it's a really deep one. And I hope that you can see some progression through June in some changing aspects of your personality for a positive, more abundant and prosperous outcome. So until the next time, take care of yourself. Always be kind to yourself. And if you're just joining us for the first time, subscribe to the YouTube channel and you can get your tarot reading or oracle card reading on a weekly basis, just to give you some inspiration, hopefully. Till the next time, bye for now.